This episode of What's the Apps is brought to you by GoDaddy. Well, hello there, it's John Q here from TechnoBuffalo and welcome to What's the Apps. In the last video, I asked you guys to leave some comments as to what application I should check out. Samson23 asked me if I can check out Pro HDR camera for Android. Well, Samson23, my friend, I did just that. Now, I've played with some HDR and photo applications for the iPhone, but they weren't really my thing. I don't really take pictures. And for those of you who don't know what HDR is, HDR basically takes three versions of the same photo at different exposures: underexposed, neutral, and overexposed, and combines all of them together to create a singular photo, preserving and highlighting as much detail as possible. And sometimes it has a surreal, mystical, photoshoppy, airbrushy kind of look. Right off the bat, Pro HDR camera sounds promising. I mean, the word pro is in the name. I mean, like, wow, pro, how can you go wrong? That's legit right there, man. But don't let the name fool you. Okay, I loaded this guy on the LG Revolution. I figured the camera on the LG Revolution would be a little bit better and more up to date compared to this Nexus I had laying around right here. And what you're seeing right now is basically all of these settings that you can do for Pro HDR cam. I know, right? Where is, well, everything. There's no white balancing or zooming. Heck, you can't even tap to autofocus in this application, which is kind of silly because you can do all of this in the default camera application. There are some hidden settings, but these don't really do anything besides change the photo size. But at least there's HDR imaging, right? I guess so, if you want to call it that. Pro HDR literally takes two pictures, one after the other, instead of one single photo processed differently, like on the iPhone 4. And I know you might be thinking, John, you're so handsome and popular, but does that make a difference? Heck yeah, it does. And Pro HDR camera does it pretty slowly as well. So if you have jittery hands like myself, you're going to end up with two slightly different photos that, when combined, will have a ghosting-like effect. After doing a quick indoor test and seeing how disgraceful the camera performs in low lighting conditions, I went outside. Keep in mind, I am not a photographer. I don't know anything about photography. I just happen to make videos using a photographer's camera. Close enough, right? I mean, yeah. Here's a picture of some leaves. Notice that ghosting thing I was talking about. And I held the camera with both hands, okay? And it still sucked. After you take a picture, you can play around with these sliders to create some pretty cool coloring effects, but it's kind of useless, you know, when the picture sucks. For this one, I wanted to be all artsy, so I took a picture of me holding a rock. And as you can see, I'm even worse with one hand. Wow, now there are 3 rocks and no ghosting. I wonder why. Well, that's because I turned HDR off. Yes, the primary feature of this application had to be turned off so that I can take a fancy artsy picture of me holding 3 rocks in my hand. But at least the coloring was nice. I mean, it's pretty cool. And for those of you who like taking self-portraits for Facebook, Twitter, Google+, or whatever you use, where you're all like, oh, look at me, this is what I look like when I'm in the washroom, tra-la-la, like that. I have some bad news. You can't use the front-facing camera to take pictures with this application. It just doesn't work. It doesn't register. You can only use the back camera. Okay, I don't understand. Here's me trying to take a picture of myself, and I'm telling you guys, it's really hard. You don't know where the camera button is, so you kind of have to time it perfectly. This one, I obviously failed. This one too, and you can see me standing there struggling with my awesome slippers. Last try here, and I still failed. What can I say, guys? It's tricky stuff. And speaking of tricky stuff, or rather awesome stuff, I'm gonna take some time to give a shout out to GoDaddy. Do you make online videos? Are you looking to drive more viewers to your video content? Then get a .tv domain name and stand out from the crowd. .tv domains are perfect for podcasters, video bloggers, and anyone with something to say. And they're now available at GoDaddy.com. And remember, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry application and order right from your phone. You can also manage your current domains and much more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy. That's right, revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all of the amazing GoDaddy deals from Rev3. And if you enter in the coupon code Buffalo1, that's BUFFALO and the number 1, you will get 10% off your order. Thank you very much, GoDaddy, and back to the review. For my final artistic piece, I took a picture of a leaf on some pavement to represent nature and humanity and stuff. Ecosystem, greenery, and save the whales, don't buy plastic bags kind of thing. Although I did pick up that leaf myself and put it on the pavement, which kind of defeats the whole meaning of this artistic, organic, naturey picture, rendering it kind of, useless. Just like Pro HDR camera. Oh yes, I went there. That's better. And you probably guessed it, HDR was off when I took this bad boy. The only good thing about this application would be the coloring, but you can only color images taken with the application. So with that, I give Pro HDR camera for Android a 0.5 out of 5. And if you can somehow snap a decent HDR picture with this application, the post coloring options will come in handy to make your image look pretty. So a Samsung 23, and for you Android users out there, I'm sorry, I just don't think Pro HDR camera is worth it. Just save your $2. Go to the grocery store, buy yourself 2 or 3 cans of pop and run around in the field, all right? Find a really nice meadow, just run around in the meadow and drink your pop and just go, oh, look at me, I'm in a field, I'm all majestic like drinking my Coke. You can even throw your cans of pop. That's super fun right there. Super fun. So if you have any suggestions for any applications you want me to review, just let me know by commenting. Thank you very much for watching. This was John Q from TechnoBuffalo, and I'll see you guys next time. Laters.